Hi folks, welcome back. So as you can tell from my last few videos, I've been playing around a lot with MCP apps and ChatGPT apps. And today I want to open source a little tool or a little experiment that I've been playing around with. I think it might be useful to people playing around with MCP apps in general. So I call it MCP Generative UI Wrapper. I think it does what it says on the tin. But basically what it is it will take a plain MCP server. So this is an MCP server that only exposes tool calls, and it will wrap it so that these tools then also serve interactive UI resources. And this wrapped MCP server then becomes something that is compatible with the MCP app standard. So this will discover the tools, it'll generate interactive UIs. You do need an LLM and an API key for this because this UI is generated with a prompt at runtime depending on the tool and the tool description and the tool schema. They're cached so that the first generation will take a latency hit, as you're calling the LLM, but subsequent ones will be pretty fast. Very importantly, it supports both the big MCP UI standards right now. There's the MCP apps standard, which is a standard broadly defined by many vendors by the MCP Foundation. And then there's the OpenAI Apps SDK standard. So this wrapper will emit both kinds of MCP servers depending on the flag that you give it. So that's what it does. Let me just show you what it looks like. So first, let me show the base MCP server. So as an example here, I'm looking at the Yahoo Finance MCP server. And here I have it pulled up in Anthropic's generic MCP inspector. And you can see it has all these tools. So I first just want to show you what the tools look like without any UI. So for example, you have something that gets stock ticker information, something that gets stock ticker price history. So for example, if I call get ticker info with Microsoft and I run the tool, there you go. If I run the tool, I had to restart the MCP server. So I get back this long JSON result and it has all this information, the address, etc., etc. So it gives me back a long JSON structure. You can try get price history as well. Let me try it with Apple, run tool, and there's the tool result. Again, a big JSON structure. So that's a regular MCP server. Now I'm going to show you the same MCP server, but wrapped with this MCP Generative UI Wrapper. So it's taking the same MCP server. You can see that it has all the same tools. And let me invoke get ticker info with Google, for example. And here you get a much more graphical look at the results. So note this was all generated at runtime. I can even get price history and you can see how it shows you a chart of the price history as opposed to just a giant JSON schema. So obviously where this is useful is if you have a plain MCP server that just serves tools, no UI, but you want to quickly turn it into an MCP app or a ChatGPT app, mostly for prototyping and experimentation, because when it comes time to actually build a proper shipping ChatGPT app or MCP app, you will want to do some more crafting and bespoke engineering. But this lets you get up and running very quickly. So I hope you enjoy that. I forgot one thing. This is still a private repo. All right, change visibility, change to public. I want to make this repository public. All right, it made me enter my password. All right, the repo is public now. I hope this is helpful. I hope this lets you experiment with MCP apps and ChatGPT apps. Would welcome any feedback you have or PRs. All right, thanks.